President of Red Bank High School. It is my privilege to welcome each one of you to the 19th Annual Hall of Fame ceremony. We especially want to welcome our special guests, friends, and families of the inductees, former teachers and administrators, and alumni who are here with us today. At this time, would you please stand and join me in welcoming the 2018 inductees to the Red Bank High School Hall of Fame. You can be seated. The Red Bank High School Hall of Fame began in 2000. During this time, we have inducted 204 outstanding graduates who have distinguished themselves in both their personal lives and professional lives. These people have impacted our city, our state, our country, and many of them have made a difference in our world. As you'll hear in their stories, they have done many things to help their fellowmen. We, as the student body, can learn a lot from these individuals and see firsthand what we can accomplish with the education from Red Bank High School. To begin our program, we will have a presentation of colors. The cadet, Colonel Sandy Chin, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be followed by the playing of our national anthem. Would you please stand?
Good morning. I am Cadet Colonel Sandy Chen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem and until the color guard has departed. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may now be seated.
Our first inductee into the Red Bank High School Hall of Fame class of 2018 is Mr. Sam Stansell. Mr. Stansell was born on Sickle Mountain and attended Red Bank High School. He was set to graduate from Red Bank High School, but World War II started, and in August of his senior year, he left school and joined the Navy. Despite only being a few months from graduation, Mr. Stansell never hesitated to leave and fight for his country. His words, "My country was being attacked and I just wanted to defend my country." Once enlisted, Mr. Stansell was sent off to California and then on to Pearl Harbor. He ultimately was assigned to the USS Saratoga and spent 4 years in the South Pacific. The Saratoga was one of the Navy's first aircraft carriers and was involved in the Battle of Iwo Jima, one of the bloodiest conflicts of World War II. Mr. Stansell worked as a first-class machinist mate in the engine room. He was responsible for ensuring fuel was continuously pumped into the engine so that the ship could keep moving. During the Battle of Iwo Jima, his ship was hit 8 times, with 5 of those being kamikaze planes. After the 5-hour battle, over 300 of the ship's crew members had been killed. Stansell and his shipmates spent several hours gathering the remains of their friends so the men could be laid to rest. He describes this day as hell on earth for him and his fellow crew. At the conclusion of the war, Mr. Stansell left the Navy and returned home. One day he walked into a pharmacy to order a ham sandwich and a milkshake. During this meal, he met a young lady behind the counter. When she brought him his order, they began talking, and 3 days later they fell in love. Mr. Stansell would eventually marry Edna Newton, and they would remain married for 72 years before she passed away in 2016. Mr. Stansell would return to the Navy during the Korean War. He was stationed in Virginia and remained there for the duration of the war. He retired in 1980 after 30 years of service and numerous military honors, including the American Campaign Medal, the Philippine Liberation Medal, the Asiatic Pacific Campaign Medal, the World War II Victory Medal, the European, African, and Middle Eastern Campaign Medal, and the Navy Good Conduct Medal. Today, Mr. Stansell is 93 years old. He still lives in Chattanooga. Looking back on his experiences, Mr. Stansell feels an overwhelming sense of pride, but also mourns the soldiers who were not fortunate enough to make it back home. Today we thank Mr. Sam Stansell for the sacrifices he made as we induct him as the newest member of the Red Bank High School Hall of Fame. He and his family were unable to be with us today, but we hope to have him at school soon to honor him in person. Mr. Sam Stansell.
Our second inductee into the Red Bank High School Hall of Fame is Mr. Jime McDonald, the class of 1957. While attending high school, Mr. McDonald lettered in basketball, baseball, and football. His best memories of high school are the ones that included his classmates and his teachers. He fondly remembers the spirit of Red Bank High School and the pride that came along with being a Lion. After high school graduation, Mr. McDonald received his aviation science degree from Southeastern Oklahoma University. During his time at Southeastern Oklahoma, Mr. McDonald was named on the Dean's List for his academic achievements. From 1958 to 1999, Mr. McDonald dedicated his life to the military and served missions in Vietnam, Kuwait, Thailand, Grenada, Panama, and the Desert Storm. In addition, Mr. McDonald also was an FAA certified instructor pilot, an FAA certified examiner instructor flight engineer, an FAA certified airline transport pilot, a quality control inspector for airplane machine parts, and an FAA certified aircraft engine mechanic. Today, Mr. McDonald is retired and dedicates his time volunteering for the Civil Air Patrol and serves as the Vice Commander for the American Legion. Jime McDonald boasts a long and impressive list of honors and awards during his military career. Among his accomplishments include the Air for Service Medal, Air Force Commendation Medal, Air Force Achievement Medal, Joint Meritus Unit Award, Air Force Outstanding Unit Award, and the Air Force Good Conduct Medal. In addition, Mr. McDonald has received recognition for having over 10,000 hours of accident-free flying. Mr. McDonald has accumulated over 24,000 hours of military and civilian flying during his lifetime. When McDonald retired from the military, he had occurred 41 years, 7 months, and 26 days of active military duty. McDonald says that his Christian faith, his family, and his American freedom are what helped mold him into the person he is today. He lists his mother, sister, mentor, and spouse as people he attributes to his success. In addition, he credits his career in the aviation field as his ability to find his niche in life as positive factors. Please join me as we welcome Mr. Jime McDonald into the Red Bank High School Hall of Fame.
Everybody can hear me, I hope. Good morning, Red Bank.
Good morning, my good son.
It's been a long journey for me. And I don't know how much time I got, but if I get wound up, somebody let me know. But I want to thank the committee that gathered together and selected me for this prestigious honor of the Red Bank Hall of Fame. To me, it's a real honor. The life goes on from when we become a human until we meet our destiny at the end of our journey. Something to really think about. Whatever your career may be, whatever your dreams may be, that's great. For me, my dream out of Red Bank High School, I was going to be one of the finest coaches on the planet Earth. That was my dream. Well, I tried for a little while. I said, you know, I better test myself. So I got in the cockpit of an airplane, and I said, uh-oh, I don't think I'm going to be a coach. I found my niche. And for you young folks, you may have a dream. If you're like me, your dream may change. But hang in there so you can do your best. And when you reach that niche, if you're like me, I'm sure that you will know it. You will realize it. As it goes, you know, the announcement of my tenure of life up until the present time it's been one hell of a ride. I mean, being in the airplanes all them years as an instructor, teacher. Well, if you think about it, perhaps that was God's way of saying you're going to coach. I coach a lot of people. I have many different folks that I've trained in cockpits of airplanes. What a joy. And I don't like to brag too much, but I got to tell you this. Through my military pilots, many have become airline pilots. I have never had a red or pink slip failure, 100% passing rate. And it scares me when I talk about it because I'm still flying. I'm still flying in the Civil Air Patrol. And in school, you learn about where the curves come together. Something's going to happen. You're going to have a failure if you don't watch it. But hopefully that won't happen. As a current, I'm still flying airplane. I'm a DOB, which that's equivalent to stand about. You have standards in the cockpit of crew members in the Civil Air Patrol. And can I ask, a show of hands, how many of you young folks are in the Civil Air Patrol in Tennessee? Anybody? All these fine-looking military folks, and you're not in the Civil Air Patrol? I'm saying this, you might want to check it out. I don't know what Chattanooga's got these days, Civil Air Patrol, but Civil Air Patrol has been adopted. We're in the total force, brand new airplanes, brand new sophistication. And let me add, you think when you graduate from the school that it's going to be, oh man, I got it made now, I don't have to go to school anymore. Well, you can look at me, I've been around the block. And I'm still going to school. I'm still learning. My whole life has just been on a learning curve. I'd say, hey, in the big 4-engine airplanes, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're changing this. I was a naysayer. Nah, that ain't going to happen. I've been so wrong so many times in that. But anyway, yeah, it's always going to be, in your journey through life, it's going to be a learning curve. If you stay in there, take a big bite, keep learning, and keep striving for your dream. Let me change it. Strive, if you can, for your niche. Your niche in life. And that is, for me, that's things that just come so natural that it's kind of scary, because when you find your niche, you don't have to study too hard. It's sort of like lay on the books at night, and osmosis, it just sinks in your head. I said, you're right. Anyway, that's about all I got to say. Again, I want to thank my family. I want to thank them. And without them, I could not have accomplished the things that I have in life. And I wish you Godspeed. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Mr. George Melton from the graduating class of 1964. During his time in high school, Mr. Melton describes his close group of friends, being a proud member of the Red Bank Marching Band, and his influential teachers who pushed him as his greatest memories. After he graduated high school, Melton enrolled at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville to pursue a degree in engineering, but quickly changed his mind to statistics. Melton graduated from college in 1964 with a Bachelor of Science in Statistics. Mr. Melton began his career as a computer programmer, but after 3 months, he was drafted to serve in the United States Army. Melton served 3 years in the Army, and when he returned from duty, he would go on to spend over 4 decades as an executive in the aerospace and defense industry. During his career, Melton had held various positions for System Development Corporation, served as an executive at Allied Signal and British Aerospace, was president of Tracor Aerospace, president of BAE Systems NA Aerospace, president and CEO of EG&G Technical Services, president of the URS Corporation, and president and CEO of Weil Incorporated. After Mr. Melton retired, he began to reflect on his college years and decided he wanted to improve the experience for today's students. Melton wanted more interaction between the faculty and students outside the classroom because he felt it would be more beneficial for their education. To make this a reality, Mr. Melton developed the Melton Scholars Program at UT Knoxville. Melton Scholars pairs individuals, undergraduate seniors, with individual faculty members to work towards undergraduate research. In addition to working with the Melton Scholars Program, Melton also volunteers for the United Way in Austin, Texas. Melton lists his parents, teachers, mentor, and wife as having the greatest influences on his life. His success can be attributed to hard work, good education, the ability to accept responsibility, and geographic flexibility. Please join me as we welcome Mr. George Melton as the newest member of the Red Bank Hall of Fame.
Class of 1966 member Richard Gunter is our next inductee into the Red Bank High School Hall of Fame. When he reflects on his time in high school, Mr. Gunter fondly remembers his classmates and friends having fun every day. After high school, Mr. Gunter joined the National Guard. His experience in the National Guard, coupled with his dream of becoming a pilot, spurred him to consider joining the Air Force. In 1972, Mr. Gunter enrolled at Metropolitan State University, Denver, but quickly realized that there was no Air Force ROTC program at that school. Without the ROTC program, he would not be able to achieve his dream to fly for the Air Force. Undeterred, Mr. Gunter approached one of the academic deans at the University of Colorado to see if it would be possible to launch a partnership between the two schools. Ultimately, his efforts founded the Air Force ROTC program at MSU Denver. In 1974, Mr. Gunter and two other men became the first students to graduate from the program. The agreement between the two schools remains in place today, and thanks to Mr. Gunter, it has benefited over 70 MSU Denver students. During his career, Mr. Gunter has served in the military as an Air Force instructor pilot, has been stationed around the globe. He has also worked as a counseling psychologist with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, helping disabled veterans rebuild their lives. And that was until his retirement in 2005. Mr. Gunter has received numerous United States Air Force citations for worldwide service and has been recognized for his exceptional success rates with veterans by the Department of Veterans Affairs. Today, Mr. Gunter volunteers his time by piloting flights benefiting nonprofit enterprises, including the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Mr. Gunter's greatest influence was Dr. Dwayne Dyer, who served as his mentor and role model. Mr. Gunter believes that having a dream, following that dream through, and giving back through service are the key attributes in a successful life. Mr. Gunter is unable to be here today. It was scheduled that his best friend from high school, David Barker, who's also a member of the Hall of Fame, would pick up his diploma, or his plaque. I'm not sure if Mr. Barker has made it today. Congratulations, Richard Gunter, class of 1966.
Our fifth inductee into the Red Bank High School Hall of Fame is Ms. Robert Copp from the class of 1979. Ms. Copp states that her favorite memories of being a student at Red Bank was the great school spirit displayed at the pep rallies, football games, and wrestling matches. Following her graduation from high school, Copp enrolled at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Biology and Health Physical Education in 1982. Ms. Copp would then get her Master's of Education degree in Adapted Physical Education and Exercise Physiology in 1985 from the University of Georgia, and her Specialist in Education and Instructional Leadership from Tennessee Technological University in 2006. Robin Copp's impressive career in education began in 1982 at Calhoun High School in Calhoun, Georgia. In 1988, Ms. Copp returned to Hamilton County as a teacher and remained in the classroom until she was promoted to assistant principal at Sale Creek Middle High School in 2006. In 2 short years, Copp was promoted to principal at Sale Creek Middle High School. Copp has also served as principal at Signal Mountain Middle High School and is currently the Ooltewah High School principal. In addition to her administrative duties, Ms. Copp has also served as the Public Education Foundation Gateway Principal, Lead Principal for New Principal Mentor Program, Tennessee Department of Education Unum Externship Teacher Leader, Core Principal Study Council, member of Superintendent Dr. Brian Johnson's transition team, and on numerous Hamilton County Department of Education district committees. Since 2009, Ms. Copp has been recognized numerous times as an administrator. Among her awards and accomplishments, they include 2009 Tennessee Association of Student Councils Administrator of the Year, 2010 Hamilton County Council of PTA's Principal of the Year, 2014 Hamilton County's Principal Association Principal of the Year, 2015 TSSAA AF Bridges Principal of the Year for Sportsmanship, 2018 East Grand Division Principal of the Year, 2018 Tennessee Principal of the Year, and 2018 Class A Noble Educator of Distinction. In addition, Copp has been named Southeastern Core Principal of the Year in 2016 and 2018 respectively. Ms. Copp is quick to point to her husband and her best friend David, as he is having the greatest influence in her life. Since the day they began dating in 1978, he has been her greatest supporter. He is always encouraging her to stretch herself and be a better person. Copp believes that her success can be attributed to 2 values that her grandmother instilled in her. 1, treat everyone with the utmost respect because everyone is equal in the eyes of God. And 2, work hard and remember that if something is worth doing, it is worth the extra time to do it right. Today, all of Robin Copp's hard work have paid off as we induct her into the Red Bank High School Hall of Fame.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I know how high school assemblies are, but I do have to say this. As a high school principal and a proud graduate of Red Bank High School, I look around and see all your faces, and the future that we have in front of us is yours. I encourage you to find your sweet spot, where your interests and your talents intersect, and that's where you're going to have the biggest success. You are surrounded by incredible adults that love you and believe in you. I've had the privilege of working with several of them, including Coach Brown, who you guys stole from Ooltewah, but that's okay, because I told him if he couldn't be in Ooltewah, that I wanted him to be at my alma mater at Red Bank. So please lean on the adults that are around you now and let them lead you to your success. Thank you.
Class of 1996 member. Tamara Tatem is our next inductee into the Red Bank High School Hall of Fame. It was the culture and commitment from the staff and teachers towards the students that Tatem remembers most about her high school days. Every teacher encounter was a great experience for her, especially for Coach Susan Thurman. After attending Red Bank, Tatem received a Bachelor of Science from Tennessee State University and would also graduate from Western Governors University with a master's degree in business administration. After college, Tatem worked in account management and sales for an entity of Verizon Communications. Tatem also worked for a healthcare company in San Antonio, Texas, before settling into her current job as a senior director in specialty medicine for Optum Care, a health system in Dallas, Texas. Ms. Tatem believes in giving back through volunteer work and has dedicated her life in serving others. When she graduated college, Tatem volunteered in drug addiction centers in Bradenton, Florida. Currently, she volunteers as a mentor at her kids' school and at churches throughout the community to help others in need, specifically women who are victims of domestic abuse. As mentioned earlier, her high school coach, Susan Thurman, was one of the greatest influences for Ms. Tatem. She says that Coach Thurman saw so much in her and always preached hard work, dedication, and making smart decisions. These lessons from Coach Thurman continue to serve Tatem well today, as Thurman continues to be a life coach to her. Whatever life throws her way, Ms. Tatem remembers Coach Thurman's advice to remain calm and stand strong. Tatem also attributes her success to her family, her circle of friends, and the staff at Red Bank High School that have always believed in her and prepared her for life challenges. Lastly, her connection with a higher power that allows her to remain grounded, humble, and encouraged is a big reason Tatem believes she has been successful. Please join me as we welcome Ms. Tamara Tatem as the newest member of the Red Bank High School.
I'm very close to a millennial, so I've got my notes here on a cell phone, so please forgive me. Good morning to you all. Thank you for joining us in this honor. Thank you to the Red Bank High School faculty and staff. This is truly an honor. I'm truly grateful for this recognition. Some of you may know of the saying that it takes a village to raise children. It truly does. And the staff here was part of that village. There are a lot of coaches and a lot of teachers here that probably have the most thankless job in America today. We don't value them enough. We don't appreciate them enough. They are the influence. They are the start to our finish line. I wasn't always the perfect teenager. I faced a lot of the same challenges that you guys are going through every day. I would tell you to always remain positive and surround yourselves with very positive people. The reason why I got into healthcare administration and what actually started here, there was a class that was led by Ms. Pendergrass. I don't know if she's still here, but it was in nursing. Is she really? If she's not here today, I hope to meet her or see her whenever before I leave, but she was very influential as well. I wanted to go into nursing, and so my junior and senior year, you could take a course where you actually go to like a nursing home and you work. You take courses there, you learn the medical field, and I ended up with a job working Saturday and Sunday, 12 hours a day, but I got paid for 40 hours, which was amazing when you're in high school. And you want to buy your own clothes, and you want to go places and do things, and your parents are like, yeah, no, not this week. But so I was able to have some gainful employment in high school due to the fact that that program was available for me, and she was very supportive. And that drove my passion around healthcare. I thought I was going to finish my bachelor's in nursing until I had to take clinicals, and part of that was getting into the emergency room and the OR, and I was like, yeah, that kind of blood, I'm going to faint here, let me back up. So that led me down a different path, but still in healthcare administration. I think the point is that take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to you. A lot of times you hear teachers give advice, and it may not be what you want to hear right now, but it will be the be most impactful for you in the future. So I encourage you to listen, make wise decisions, and think about long-term what you want to do, believe that you can do it, and know that the people around you have your best interests in mind. That's it. Thank you so much.
Our final inductee into the Red Bank High School Hall of Fame this year is Mr. Joel Alsup from the graduating class of 1998. Mr. Alsup was 7 years old. He began having extreme difficulty doing everyday tasks with his dominant right hand. He had an MRI performed and a cancerous tumor was discovered. As a result, Mr. Alsup's right arm had to be amputated. Mr. Alsup, however, did not allow this obstacle to deter him from living a normal life. When reflecting on his time at Red Bank, Joel fondly remembers the amazing Red Bank High School staff that he had the ability to challenge and encourage him daily. He also cherishes his classmates and friends. They gave him smiles and stories to last a lifetime. Mr. Alsup enrolled at Middle Tennessee State University after high school, and will be the first one to tell you that the college experience and education helped pave the way to his career at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Mr. Alsup began work at St. Jude as a video producer before moving up to supervisor of creative media services. This allowed Joel to work closely with the National Direct Marketing Department to create Response TV. He also feels fortunate that his job allows him to meet and interview St. Jude patients, staff, and supporters, and is able to share their inspiring stories to the world. Mr. Alsup's own personal experience with St. Jude inspires him to give back to his community through volunteering and charity work. Since 2000, he has served as a counselor and board member of Camp Horizon, a pediatric oncology camp. In addition, he has volunteered for the National Civil Rights Museum and also has hosted multiple live events that showcase St. Jude's Research Hospital to both live and television audiences, as well as online viewers. Mr. Alsup's parents and wife have impacted him the most, he says. They always encourage and listen to him and are quick to offer him grace, even when he is not at his best. They're always by his side when he needs them, and they have taught him how to love deeply and to always be courageous in showing love. Mr. Alsup also credits the numerous people that took the time to encourage him throughout his life when he was a young 7-year-old dealing with the amputation of his right arm. He believes he wouldn't be the person he is today if it were not for the amount of love he has received from family members, the staff at St. Jude, and the communities in which he has lived. As a student who began his career here at Red Bank High School in the media class and on the main news, then to MTSU's program in the same field, and then to a successful job in media services at St. Jude's, it is an honor to induct our final member of the 2018 Hall of Fame, Mr. Joel Alsup. Representing Joel today, and accepting on his behalf is his father, Mr. Don Alsup.
Joel is very sorry he can't be here with you this morning. His wife's grandmother passed away, and he's there with family this morning. He did ask me to tell you a couple of things, and one is that Red Bank High School was a very big and a very important part of his life. And two is he's greatly honored to accept this award from all of you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations again to the 2018 Red Bank High School Hall of Fame inductees. You have truly inspired us with your outstanding achievements and contributions to our school and community.
H.L. Mencken said, "You can't do anything about the length of your life, but you can do something about its width and depth." All of our inductees exemplify this approach to life. I also want to thank the student body for the attention and respect you have given the inductees this morning. It's a long time to remain focused, and your behavior speaks highly of Red Bank High School, our school culture, and your character. This is one of my favorite days of the year because I believe the Hall of Fame is one of Red Bank's best traditions. And it was established with a twofold purpose. The first was obviously to recognize our outstanding alumni. But secondly, and even more importantly, was to provide you, the students, with real-world examples of what you can accomplish starting with the education you receive right here at Red Bank High School. Students, over these 4 years, you are building the foundation from which you can launch your purpose, or as our inductees said, find your niche or your sweet spot that will leave your mark. And I know that one day we will have inductees on this stage from the classes of 2022, 2021, 2020, and 2019.
I want to thank all of you for coming today. I especially want to thank our inductees and congratulate them for their many accomplishments. Your stories of success have been a source of inspiration to us. As we prepare to step into the future, these are examples and lessons from which we can learn much. At this time, I would ask you to please stand as the Red Bank High School concert band plays our alma mater. In the library. Students, if you will seat and remain seated shortly.